Di's Home and Garden. If this is the first time here, thank you for joining us. What we're doing today, you can see that we're in the kitchen. We're going to be making a recipe called herbed chicken patties. So this is a lovely recipe, very fresh and very herby. So it's lovely to serve with some vegetables or maybe even a nice salad, especially with summer coming up here in Australia. This is a lovely one to make. And what do? I make this in bulk. I put it in the freezer, and then if I'm making a meal for family, I can just get it out the freezer and do the side dishes and the meal's done. Or if it's for myself, I can just get one or two herb chicken patties out of the freezer, and that's the main part of the meal done, and then I can just wander around the garden and pick some vegetables and have that on the side. So first of all, we need to go outside and we need to pick the herbs. So why don't you join me while we do that? Now I have herbs growing all around the place in my garden. This is actually in my front garden, and you'll hear the traffic noise, I'm sorry about that. But there's a nice little spot over here where I grow mint, oregano, chives, parsley, there's peppermint there as well. And it's because this is just a perfect spot for it. It gets shaded in summer by the trees that you can see behind. The frangipani there will grow its leaves, and this is just a nice shady area, and the mint just loves that. So we'll get picking and then we'll take them inside and see what we do with them. And out the back here I've got some rosemary, so we'll just pick some of that. Now these are the herbs that I've picked. I've picked parsley, mint, chives, and there's rosemary in there. There's rosemary there. So they're all the herbs that I've picked. Now you may have different herbs in your garden, and you may choose to use different herbs in this. Just do whatever suits you and your family. The other thing is, if you don't have fresh herbs like this, you may have dried herbs, and they're fine to use as well. So I'm just going to wash all these, and then I'll get busy prepping them. So here we go. Just make room for these and my chopping board. Okay, with the mint, the snails just love it. I've washed that, but some of it's been chewed, so I'm very selective as to what leaves I actually pull off. And the other thing is that the stalks cannot go into my compost, because if they happen to sprout, if they end up in my compost and then they sprout, they get themselves into the garden, I'll never get rid of it. So unfortunately I can't compost the stalks, and they'll go into the bin. So I'll just be pulling all the leaves off here. As I said, I'll be very selective, and so this is going to take a while. Now I'm just going to roughly chop the rest of the herbs. Normally I would do this all by hand, It does add a different dimension to it. I have done it in the food processor before, and I wasn't really happy with the results. It brought a lot of the green out of the herbs and turned the patties green, and didn't look good, and also the texture wasn't good. But today I'm going to actually put it in my mini chopper, and I'll just pulse it, and hopefully it won't be pulverized, it'll just be chopped. So we'll both be doing something new today, and you'll be able to see how it goes. So hopefully it'll work out okay. So I'm just sorting out the best of the parsley here. I don't want the stalks, just want the top bit. So I'll just cut that off. Don't want too many stalks in there. Gee, that smells really nice. All of them smell nice, but particularly that parsley, it seems rather strong. Really fresh smell. And so I'm just taking the leaves off the rosemary. We don't want that woody stalk in there. And just at the top where it's very soft, I'm putting that in. Right, let's go over to my little mini chopper and see how we go with this. Go. I don't want to pack that too tight, so just a few more on that side. So there you go, that's all chopped up. Now, that did take a bit of getting used to, but I love the way it's chopped it. It's not overly chopped, and there's still texture in there. That's exactly what I was looking for. That's how I would have chopped it if I did it by hand, but that was certainly a lot quicker than doing it by hand. There we go. Some of the stalks of the of the parsley didn't quite get chopped up, so I'll just pick those out, but the rest of them are great. I did say I wanted some texture, but not that much texture. Okay, I'll just go through that and pick out any of the larger pieces. Now, as I said, normally I'd sit there and do that by hand. Let's take a look at the other ingredients. So there we've got all our herbs, and they're all chopped up. We've got 2 eggs. There's a kilo of chicken mince there. At the back there, we've got some gluten-free breadcrumbs. And if you saw my previous video where I made the leek powder, I'm going to add some leek powder to this as well. Right, so it's just a matter of putting everything in and then mixing it all together. So we just put our chicken in. With our eggs, it's always good to crack them into a bowl first. Make sure that they're okay before adding them to your ingredients. You can see or you will be able to see, I'm not measuring any of this. Perhaps I should, so that you'll know what to do. That's half a cup of breadcrumbs there. And geez, that smells nice. I'm just going to add a reasonable amount of that. That's probably about 1/4 cup. Now, you don't need to add the leek powder. You might want to use some onion powder. And the thing I did forget was garlic. So I'll just go and get some garlic. There we go, we've got 3 cloves of garlic there. Okay, we just need to chop this finely. There we go. We've got some garlic there. These gloves don't seem to want to go on today. Okay, so just put some gloves on and we'll just mix that through. Now, as I said, I don't usually measure this. I just judge what I need. And if I find that this isn't firm enough, if it's too sloppy, then I will add some more breadcrumbs. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Can't work in those. Does need some more breadcrumbs. That's much better. And I can actually feel it. Yeah, that's fine. So that would be 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs now that I've added. Just mix all that through. Now, I've used gluten-free breadcrumbs because that way it's suitable for anyone who's gluten-free, who's gluten intolerant. So there we go. I'll just wash my hands. So I'm just adding some vegetable oil to the pan here. And I'll turn the heat on there. We'll wait for that to get hot and then I'll make the patties and add them. So that should be hot enough. Now what I do, I've wet my hands so that I can roll those little patties, but I'll flick a little bit of water into there, and if that sizzles like it is, it tells me that it's ready. So I just make small patties because the flavour is very strong, and I don't think it's something that you'd have to eat a very large patty, but if you desire, you can actually eat more than one. You can eat as many as you like. So we're just making, you can see the size of the patties there. I just put it against my hand so you can see it. So it's smaller than your palm, and just putting those in to cook. I also like to use a lid on the fry pan because that will create a lot of heat in there. When I'm working with chicken, I'm just really particular that it is cooked thoroughly all the way through. So this is another way that I can ensure that that's going to happen. So we'll leave that to cook. That's what you want, a lovely golden colour. Right, we'll get on cooking the rest of those. So there you have it. It's lovely to serve with yogurt and sweet chilli sauce, as you can see over the back. And there they are there. And with maybe some rice and a nice side dish. Beautiful meal. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you make these, please leave some comments below. You may vary them a little bit. Just let me know what you've done that might be a little bit different, or how you found them. Thanks for watching. Bye.